Hello and welcome to Tarot Pal again. If you're a returning subscriber, first of all, thank you and I love you. No, I seriously love you for deciding to spend your time with me, for supporting me at the beginning of my journey. It does help me build so much confidence in what I'm doing, and it's such a great validation. So thank you if you're a returning one, and welcome if you're first time clicking on this video on Tarot Pal. We are a new channel and we welcome you here. I have so much lined up for you. We're going to start doing our rituals shoot soon, which means hopefully by today or tomorrow I'm going to start sharing with you some beauty rituals and some love rituals that have definitely worked for me, and I personally practice them. So that's incoming. Now, what are we doing today? Today we're doing a weekly pick a card love reading. We do this every Friday. For those of you who are new here, I just want to take a minute to run you through how pick a cards work and also how my schedule runs. Every Wednesday we do a weekly career reading. Every Thursday we do a Sai Baba oracle message. Every Friday we do a love reading. Every Sunday, by late night Sunday I would say, I would do a week ahead reading. I've already put up a June monthly reading, which you definitely must check out. I've received great feedback for that, and thank you so much for guys who reached out to me with it. So that's pretty much the things that are already planned for weeklies. I am going to do some fun pick a card readings ahead, and I've put up a community message. In case you haven't seen it, go check that out and give me your suggestion. Or you can comment below on this video and tell me which one do you want me to start first. I had put up 3 options there. What does Spirit want you to know right now is one pick a card reading we could do. What are your manifestation blockages is another pick a card reading that we could do. Or if you want me to expand on a love reading, we can perhaps pick up something within a love topic. So I had I'd given a suggestion of how about we do something. I'm not a big fan of those what is he thinking about me, because that's very giving the power away. But what would make this relationship better is a question that I can definitely ask, and I feel that's more empowering as a love reading than asking what is he or she thinking, because sorry, that's toxic. Okay, now what are we doing today? We have 3 options for you. How pick a cards work is there would be a timestamp for you linked below. You can make a selection and go to that pile. These are general readings, so it's highly possible that you feel called to more than one pile, okay, which is absolutely okay. Please only take the messages that resonate with you and leave the rest, because when I'm drawing the cards, I'm asking the Spirit to give me the messages for pile 1. Now, there would be many people who would pick pile 1, for example. So not everything that I'm going to do, this is not a 101 reading, is going to fit you. So don't try to fit into that read, or don't try to take something which doesn't really resonate, okay? I think I've pretty much covered everything. So let me show you your options. So this is option 1. This is a Malachite Azurite. Let me see if I can increase the brightness to help you see this better. Yeah, that's the max we get. Okay, so that's 1. Again, Malachite Azurite. Then I have Lepidolite. Okay, in case some of you are interested, I get these crystals from 2 different shops, if I may call them, even though I don't like to call them shops. I think they do spiritual work, so that's more than that. This one, which is a rose quartz, which is option 3, is from Light of the East. It's such a discovery to find them. It's a shop in Jaisalmer Fort. I got some beautiful crystals and powerful crystals. Okay, one is the beauty of a crystal and another is how powerful is it. So that a shout out to Light of the East. If you happen to visit Jaisalmer and you go to the Jaisalmer Fort, go to that shop. It's an amazing collection of crystals, of antiques. I mean, they have a whole 9 yards of spiritual things that you really love. This one I got from one of the first tarot readers I actually got a tarot reading from. And I'm really sorry I'm blanking out on her name, but I'll definitely link it in the comments below, okay? Amazing reader. I loved her read and she definitely gave me on point reading. Okay, this one I got from Reiki Crystals, okay, which is a shop in Delhi, Pritampura. They are online, they are on Amazon. So that's for anybody who's interested. Now, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. What I'm also going to do in the end is I'm going to draw a postcard for you, okay? In the end, you ask, you close your eyes and you ask for a message from your person in case you're in a relationship. What would the higher self of that person tell you? If you're single, you can ask the Spirit, about your love query, and we'll go with whatever the postcard says. So I'm excited. Let's get started. I'm going to pile 1. Hello, pile 1. What I missed talking in the intro was, in a few hours, I will post a snip of this entire read on my Instagram account. I understand nobody can remember a week's reading of a YouTube video. You can just go follow Tarot Talks on Instagram. You can save the shorter summary, a snip of everything we are talking about, and refer to it. Okay, so let's begin. Your current energies and your partner's energy. Okay, so I'm going to mix, and I'll keep talking about the singles in between, and this of course covers single, committed, or in case you're in a complicated relationship or in a separation. Both of you are currently undergoing, as the keyword clearly says, a lot of transformation at an inner level. Okay, not much is changing externally, but I think, and especially if you're a divine feminine, you are already sensing that the energies of the relationship are evolving and changing. You might not know if it's actually evolving or going bad, but it's definitely changing. There's a shift in the in the fields of the relationship that you can experience, and you also experience that internally for yourself. A very good time to journal and ask yourself some prompts. Journal on some prompts like, what is your definition of love? How do you feel loved? What is your love language? Those of you who don't know about the 5 love languages, you can go and read about that, because I think that definitely helps understand ourselves and our partners better. The whole point of doing this exercise or of a brainstorming session with yourself, first of all, to understand what makes you happy, what is your love language, how would you feel great in a relationship. Because what happens is, we tend to think, humans evolve. You're not going to have the same emotional needs that you had 2 years before, or even sometimes 2 weeks before. Okay, if you're somebody like me, could be 2 days before. But yeah, you need to keep reevaluating and checking with yourself, because sometimes we're projecting our insecurities are changing. The clouds are changing, and the color of the cloud is pink, the color of the cloud is blue, and we start projecting that on our partners. Okay, that's not the partner's responsibility, and it shouldn't be their responsibility to keep you grounded and aware about what's going on inside you. That said, once you're aware about how are you feeling, what's making you happy, what are your emotional needs, where are your emotional needs not getting met, once you've done that brainstorming yourself, and I always talk about this, please understand, you have to fulfill your emotional needs yourself, and then when your cup is filled with your own love is only when you can hope for your partner to add value in it. Every other relationship that I often notice, half of the problem is that we're waiting for the partner to fill in that emotional need and that void, because we don't know how to love ourselves, and it's impossible. Just trust me, for a very short while, it's still possible for somebody to fill in that void for you, but over a longer duration, you're always going to feel dissatisfied in your relationships if you're waiting for your partner to fill in your emotional needs. So that's where self-love comes in, which is a whole different topic. We're not going there. So the first card, with the Hermit right under it, I want you to go into an introspective mode for the next 24 to 48 hours after watching this video, and make sure that you've penned it out. What are your emotional needs? What do you understand by love? Where are you right now? With no blames, no judgments, no self-criticism coming into play while you're at it. Okay. Once you have your clarity and wisdom has dawned on you, I just love the cards and the drawing artwork here on the Everyday Witch deck. I'll keep repeating that until I get over it, perhaps. Have that same conversation with your partner, okay? Because you need to understand what their love language is, and you need to understand how your relationship is evolving. Conversations are very important for this pile, and also what is important is that you have these conversations again from a place of love, from a place of understanding and acceptance. Don't go there with a baggage of I hope he says this, I hope she's in this zone, I hope this is what she means. Keep an open mind and be a listener while they're giving you all these tidbits and information of, I think, we earlier didn't like. And I'll give you an example. Sometimes a couple comes together and maybe one of you love watching movies, the other one didn't. And, during the relationship, and, we always do things that our partners love because that's what you take up love languages. You actually start to realize, hey, you know what, I didn't like watching movies, but I think now I like it even more than my partner does, and I've become more addicted to it than even he or she was, right? Now there's been an evolution and a shift that has already happened in you, and maybe by now either your partner is on board or the partner's moved on and he finds that activity or she finds that activity pretty boring as a bonding one, right? So do you understand, sometimes we're just thinking that at the beginning of the relationship just because we were okay, and then we start blaming each other, oh, you've changed. Yeah, because we are all changing and we are learning, right? So to come to the same page about, are you really still at the same page of the things you loved then? Do you love them now? Is there something more different that you can do now? And now you've picked up each other's, especially if you've been long-term partners, I'm sure you guys can relate to it. You do pick up, your partner's traits, your partner's likes and dislikes, and vice versa. And by the time it's about 3 years down the line, you're two different personalities than the guys you met. Okay, that's the beauty of love, and that's the funny part of love. So kind of understand where you are, and then trust that where you're headed from a secure path. Okay, this conversation honestly cannot happen if you have too many insecurities and expectations, and you're trying to drive the conversation towards some place, or you're trying to manipulate your partner to get you something. That's not the idea of this conversation. This conversation should help you feel more secured and more happy towards where this relationship is going. If you're single, the same thing applies to you in a slightly different context, okay? We believe that we need certain things which we don't. And honestly, in the past 48 hours, I've personally gone through that shift myself. There's an eclipse portal. A lot of us are sensing that, when you're more connected and you're meditating. My needs are no longer the same, or I have much more clarity about what do I seek in certain relationships, what are my non-negotiables versus negotiables. And if you're single, you need to know that, because maybe you're waiting and you're chasing the wrong kind of people, or maybe you're involved with somebody and you're feeling dissatisfied because your emotional needs have changed and you started being with this person because you were an XYZ person then. Okay, so that's a very important thing to note. If you're single, know what you need, and make sure that are you still chasing what you were hoping, when you started the journey of I'll find the next best match and the next best mate. All of this, of course, comes from meditation. All of this, of course, comes from solitude. So perhaps this week for singles, I'm not going to tell you anything massive happening when it comes to new people coming in. Yes, I'll get to this card, and of course there is somebody in play, but it's a more internal week. It's a more introspective week for people who are in single and complicated relationships. You are sensing it more. For people who are in separation, I just want to cover something quickly here. With this transformation, strength and hermit, and to cover some zodiacs for everybody, I see a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Leo, Scorpio. Okay. In case I didn't mention your sign, it doesn't mean that this read is not for you. It just means that you might either be tuned into one of these zodiac's energies, or you already have one of these placements, and that's just a double confirmation that that's for you. Okay. For those in separation or in complicated relationship, with this transformation happening, one of you is learning to come into their own power. One of you is learning to be more assertive. One of you is learning to be more confident into who they are. The other person is actually in a very introspective mode. They are becoming wiser. They are trying to understand what life has taught them so far. And this transformation is happening at both levels. So it's a beautiful positive energy. Like I said, a lot might not be happening on the 3D, not a lot of conversations happening. One of them might not be, you might be in an absolute no contact situation as well. But just trust your path, that things are changing. The other person's thinking, deciding, getting there. That's the energy. Okay. And whichever energy you relate with between these two, you need to focus on the message of the card. So strength always talks about believing in your power, okay? Knowing that there is more to you than you think there is, because what's most attractive about people are, when they are the hottest, is that when they are confident, they are sure, they are brave, and they are kind, okay? These things really matter. They matter to me. I hope they matter to you, because honestly, they do make people more attractive. Okay, so if you're in the strength energy, work on that. If you're in the hermit energy, work on that. Okay, each of you need to have some space, because I don't see a lot of communication or a lot of coming together or a lot of spending time with each other. It's more about let's get into our own silos and figure out where we are. There's a lot of love for sure, but I mean, we're all grown-ups now. It doesn't always have to be mushy and nice, right? I hope everybody is grown up who's watching this. I have selected 18 plus, okay? Trust your path. This card, of course, talks about if you are feeling called, okay? And I have the underlying card here for all the energies of don't dim to fit in your light, okay? Which is why the transformation card is all the more important. If you've really reached a place wherein you know that this relationship is not going anywhere, I'm not that person I was, he's not that person or she's not that person who I thought they were, and you're standing there in fear, okay, because you don't know if you're strong enough to move ahead from them, you don't know if you have it in you to move ahead from this, okay, then I want you to believe that you do have it in you, that you have to listen to your inner wisdom. The owl again talks about that inner wisdom, and let the relationship go, because there is something better ahead, right? You have to move on from here. Okay, and this also applies to complicated relationships, of course. If it's done, then don't hold on to it out of fear, because you don't know what lies ahead. What lies ahead is great, amazing things, okay? Moving on to this one, which links beautifully to these three cards here. Okay, you might need to initiate more this week, okay? Initiate conversations if you're single, initiate dialogues, of course, if you're in a couple. You've been asked to tune into your intuitive side and believe, those ningles we get in our mind. Is he really feeling like this? Is he thinking about me like this? Instead of being in your head and trying to create, assumptions and stories and blah, 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 have a conversation. Pick up that conversation. Get the elephant in the room has to be addressed, right? So you need to take that conversation and you need to speak up and have that conversation, okay? If you feel that you're uncomfortable having that conversation, that again demands why are you then in that relationship? If you're not able to have honest, authentic conversations and you're worrying about pleasing the man, or I'm going to screw up the relationship, or is she really going to get what I'm saying? Honey, you're not supposed to think all of that. If it's love, if it's meant to be, they will get it. And of course, say it from a space of love. Don't go charging ahead, but you have to address what you want to talk about. 1 second, I think I moved the camera. Okay. These two cards, I hope you can see that they are counterparts. That's King of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. If you are, in a twin flame relationship, and I don't say that word like how it's said in the internet these days, okay? 13-year-olds are supposedly now, and I'm not really trying to say that you can't meet your twin flame at 13, but realistically, honey, the probability is really low, okay? So please do your research on what twin flame and soulmates are. Please understand that these relationships are difficult relationships. Twin flames is not a relationship that most of us would marry into, most of us would actually end up being with, because while it's very empowering and it's here to take us to the next, to our purpose of life, it's not an easy relationship. That said, if you know that you're in a twin flame relationship and you've recognized that this is your twin flame, this is definitely your confirmation that you've picked the right pile, and this is what the energies at play are at, okay? I'm going to first address the masculine, energy for this pile. And I keep saying divine masculine and divine feminine because please understand, this is not gender-based. Sometimes the woman of the relationship, and I'm also covering all, woman or man, whatever relationship you're in, it's all cool, okay? One of us typically is always in a more divine masculine side. What do I mean by that? More active, more action-oriented, more practical, more grounded, more detail-oriented, while the other is in an energy of flowing, receptivity, intuition, nurturing. That's typically how relationships work, right? That's how the scales are balanced. So the divine masculine here is very focused on their career. Let me just first put that out right. Even the divine feminine is also very focused on her work, okay? So this week is all about focusing on your life purpose, your work, your children, your kingdom, okay? He has cake and wine and dogs and animals, and he has too much to enjoy and he has so much to manage, okay? Which is why not a week to get insecure. Again, back to own your power. Focus on your work. Focus more on your life purpose. Focus on what is going on internally for you and your partner, and honestly give space, okay? Because one of the most irritating things I've seen happening in relationships, at least for me, is when you see a person blazing guns, passionate about whatever they're doing. It could be their office work, it could be their new hobby, it could be supportive. It's not even rocket science. I don't know why that's so common sense. Don't get into like, a very typical sentence that you hear, at least in Indian households. He or she is always busy and my turn never comes. If you keep repeating that sentence, first of all, you're manifesting that reality. Your turn is actually not going to ever come. And two, you're not sounding like a supportive partner. So you're shooing them away more than pulling them in. Okay. So instead of being in that energy of they are too focused on themselves, they are in their solitude zone, they care only about work. These are complaint energies. They're not going to get you to a happier place. Instead of that, appreciate it, motivate it, you focus on your own things, and the energies will automatically, there's a time for romance and there's a time for work. And sometimes work is also fun and work is also romantic. If you're single, somebody at work might approach you. Somebody with a substantial age gap might be interested in you. Also, this is a week wherein if you're single, somebody who approaches you or you've been eyeing at, you can trust this person, okay? Because the King of Pentacles has thought things through. They're very logical, they're very grounded. They have what it needs to take it to the next level. Okay, so trust in case you come across someone this week. Overall, pretty much a great week. Spend more time alone, give them space, come into your power, ask yourself what you are today, okay, and then love the journey that you're on. Trust the journey that you're on. There could be a travel as well for some of you. You might go on a short trip. Unless you are stuck in a pandemic and in a lockdown, I'm sorry for you. I'm with you at that. What is also going to be really, really helpful for you this week as a ritual, I would definitely suggest if you can get into planting or gardening, okay, like get your hands dirty in whatever way. I mean, what I can think of right now as a quick example is basically getting your hands on the dirt, okay, because this is very earthy energy. And doing something for Mother Earth, planting the trees, putting up some gardens, even as activity, if you guys can go outside and sit in the park, it's going to be one of the most, it'll bring you people together. Okay, you can do it alone, you can do it with your partner, but it's going to help, especially for singles. Plant some roses, okay? Plant a rose tree with your own hands. This is not to be delegated, like plant it with your own hands and give it love, give it nurturing, and watch life grow. Now, let's move on to that. So I'm going to give you a minute. Think of a message, a person. Oops, cards are falling. Okay. Whatever situation you're in, whatever clarity you need, specific to yourself. Take a couple of deep breaths. Ground yourself. And I'm going to take the first card that falls. Nothing's trying to fall, so we're just trying to take a card out. Let's see. Okay. So your message is, and I'm going to read this out to you. Oh my, things are stirred up and change is upon you. This is cause for celebration. No need to be nervous, but know that it's okay to be afraid when faced with the uncertainties of life. The funny thing is that courage doesn't get mustered. Beautiful, right? Courage. Yeah? Courage doesn't get mustered in the absence of fear, rather in spite of it, or even because of it. Step into the unknown. Step into the unknown now. Let go of the branch you're clinging to, and let spirit take the wheel and help steer you to your highest good and most wonderful adventure. If you are in a toxic relationship, if it's not working out, you can sense that you're not getting the reciprocity, just move ahead. Just trust into that unknown. What is coming next could be much better than what you have if you just believe in yourself, okay? All you need to concern yourself with is choosing courage as your ally. Leave the rest up to us. There is a load of miracles being shipped your way. Remember what philosopher Joseph Campbell said, take one step towards the gods and they will take 10 towards you. I'll repeat that for you. Take one step towards the gods and they will take 10 towards you. I love tarot and oracle because you saw me pull that card out right in front of you. I don't see these cards before I do the read. Can you see the synchronicity with which the courage, the trusting your path, the letting go is all coming in with the message. We are all doing the destiny cha-cha on your behalf. That's right. Don't be afraid to dance. Love you always. I hope this resonated. If it did resonate, please do like, share and subscribe. Share it with somebody you need. Hit the bell icon. It really means the world to me. See you tomorrow. Hello and welcome pile 2. A snip of this read would be posted on my Instagram account at TarotPal Tarot Talks. You can go find that by tomorrow, I would say. I'm running behind on the Sai Baba messages, so that'll come up by tomorrow morning. Welcome again if you're a returning subscriber. Welcome if you're here for the first time. Let me start your reading with this card. Okay, singles, couples. Are you overgiving? Are you chasing something that you shouldn't? Okay, this week you need to assert your boundaries. I was having this conversation with someone and they got it for their, I do reads for my close ones, and this person got it for her next crystal grades, new moon's crystal grade. If you don't know what that is, of course, I will make a ritual on that. I'll make a video on that to show you what that is, of what that person should be manifesting. And it was beautiful how the cards explained assertiveness is a very important part of relationships, okay? Not aggressiveness, but assertiveness, wherein we are able to communicate our needs without becoming aggressive, but also without losing our footing, okay? Without getting taken for granted and without getting our needs violated, right? So, first message, single, complicated, or in a relationship, assert your boundaries. Okay, do you even have any? I think many people don't even have boundaries, and then they get bitter, and then they get upset, and then relationship troubles start in because you did not even have boundaries to begin with. You just kept on giving, or you kept on taking, or you didn't know, what makes you happy, what does not, and all of that leads to, a toxic relationship, and then blame games and all of that. So first message, assert your boundaries, write your boundaries, okay? This card links beautifully to the boundaries card for me, which is the Four of Pentacles. This guy values what he has. Okay, this card is a two-edged message. One is that he's a hoarder. The second message is that he's grateful for what he has. Okay, he values who he is. Okay, and you need to value who you are. You need to value the chest of gold that you're sitting on. You need to value the relationship that you have. You need to bring you also need to value who you are as a person beyond the relationships that you keep. Okay, because only when you love yourself can you be loved by others. That's the first message for pile 2. A change is definitely coming. A transformation is coming. I think you already sense the lack of boundaries. That's also a very clear message I'm getting. I'm not telling you something that you don't know already, is a feeling I'm getting here right now. Okay, you're very aware of your boundaries being exploited. You're very aware of the lack of your boundaries at certain level, and you're working on it. I feel you've already started working on it, or you will get enough downloads or enough push from the universe that you start working on it. Death does not mean a literal death. Death typically means transformation. It means change. It means something's moving on. Okay. So what I also get from this card, and I'm sorry I sometimes pause because I get these downloads and these hits, and I want to make sure that I'm getting it all out right. If you overexert, or if you keep on nagging on a particular problem, or if there is a complication that you're living with right now, and you keep on talking about it, and you're trying to find a solution on it, but nothing really comes out, stop it. Sometimes it's good to take a break. Take a break from that conversation, take a break from that person, go take a break for alone yourself, rest, heal, recuperate. It's hopefully we are looking for a long-term relationship here. And even if you're not looking for a long-term relationship, this is not going to, work out in a day. Don't rush it. Okay, don't rush it. Take it slow, take it easy, keep your boundaries clear. Okay, value yourself. And with all of that, make sure that you're not in a repeat telecast, okay? Sometimes you're having the same conversation every morning, every night, and nothing's really moving. Then drop it. Drop that conversation, okay? Singles, once you have your boundaries clear, a lot of soulmates, and I'd say a lot because soulmates can be more than one, okay? And soulmates can be more than romantic, okay? You'll get a clan of people coming in, people you feel you're more connected with. This typically can happen while you're traveling, okay? This can also be a possibility that once you're done and out of this relationship wherein maybe your boundaries are not respected, Okay, this does mean a literal death or ending of something when you know that this person really doesn't care. Okay, when you know that I've asserted my boundaries many times and it does not work out, that person really does take me for granted. Take a freaking break. This is almost not changing by you staying there in that energy. And once you take that leap of faith towards the future, you'll attract better prospects. Okay? So that's your message. Definitely a message. Move ahead and you will find better people ahead in the journey. Okay, if you might have to take some decisions towards your love life this week, none of the decisions are honestly wrong. The only thing to be mindful of is that you're taking it from a balanced, grounded place, that you're not rushing into something and that you're not getting influenced by something else. Okay, it has to come from a place of core value alignment. Okay, this also talks about, if I were to talk about zodiacs, I see a lot of water signs here. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. If you are dealing with somebody like that, that's your affirmation. You might have those placements in your chart, or the energy of the relationship is currently vibrating at that level. Okay. Chariot also talks about a travel, a movement, and sometimes that movement could mean that, because it's a Mercury retrograde, the past is over and done with, and you might get somebody returning to you. Okay, now whether you want to keep them or not, and if you decide to keep them, boundaries is back to the question. Okay, I understand some of you might be feeling that this person is a part of my soul family. Okay, I feel very connected to them. But before you start the relationship, before you take a new beginning, don't try to do it only on their terms. Have your own boundaries. Make sure that the old story, why it did not work out in the past, has to be addressed, and then you move forward with it. Okay? With the Queen of Pentacles as the underlying energy for all the three piles, what is also important to note here is that the Queen of Pentacles is very aware of what she brings to the table, right? What do I mean by that? She is very grounded. If you see this card, she has fruits, she has riches, she has a lot of things that she can be proud of, but she's very grounded, and her roots, the throne, is made still with the tree, right? So her feet is on the ground. She still doesn't get scared of getting her hands dirty. Okay. Similar to pile 1, I definitely want to say this week would be a good week to connect with Mother Earth and do some root chakra healing. Get into some plant work. If you were pulled between 1 and 2, maybe you have some messages there. Is also perhaps a possibility. This week you might feel a lot of emotionally unstable energies, hence all the more important that you rest, do some water meditations, and remain grounded. Okay, if you're not ready to have some difficult conversations, that's okay. You can hold on to these I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera, I guess. You can hold on to have these complicated conversations with your partner at least until June 22nd, but then don't continue to be in that toxic energy, or don't continue to overgive, or don't continue to be in an energy wherein your boundaries are getting violated, because you're just going to keep on getting bitter. Okay, also don't hold back, right? Boundaries sometimes could also be that you're so scared of what is going to happen if I say what is in my mind, you're holding yourself back. This is also very applicable to the singles who are watching this file. Okay, are you so scared of whatever's happened to you in the past, of the past is really over, it's just running in your mind, and the moment you get out of this energy and that transformation happens, you have better options ahead, right? You currently have multiple ways to go about it, right? So if you're a single person who's watching this reading, your soul family is waiting for you. You just have to show up as yourself. You have to be your authentic self. You have to communicate with people in your most authentic self. The dolphins dancing here is also emotional quotient and intelligence. More people would be coming into your life wherein you feel that they get you. You really feel that they get you. And again, I'm saying this is not only romantic. Maybe you find a friend, a colleague who is really able to connect with you from a heart space, is able to heal you and help you navigate through a lot of your emotional issues and take you on a new journey, a new adventure. Okay, those are the messages I'm getting for pile 2. I think pretty much that sums up everything. Take rest, guys. This week, try and go for a spa. Okay, do something great for your body. eat well, okay, because all of these things do add up consistently when we are talking about how are we in our relationships, okay. Now I want you to think about one specific situation, a query, a message that you need around that situation, and I'm going to draw you a postcard. Oh, one fell. Okay, ready? Here's your message. Over here there is no mystery for us to unravel, as we know intimately how connected we all are, how the web of creation works, how spirit is in every aspect of life, from the invisible to the visible. But it's impossible for humans to comprehend the complexities of how things actually work, because the most important threads of the tapestry doesn't make sense in the dimension you live in. That said, can you feel the importance of these can you feel the importance of these currents of energy that bring events together in miraculous ways? It's talking about synchronicities. You can't understand with your mind, but you can know with your heart and soul. Again, tuning into the heart space. Yeah. Trust that even though you don't know the how, the what, or the why, we do. Surrender to the mystery and have faith that the unseen world is watching you with loving eyes as spirit weaves your life's mysterious and beautiful tapestry in glorious technicolor. Loving you so much. Love you so much. If it did resonate with you, please do like, share and subscribe. It definitely is motivating and it helps me keep on creating such content. I wish you a lovely week ahead. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome pile 3. Those of you who picked the rose quartz, beautiful stone, and I can see why you needed this energy. A short summary of this post would be updated on the Instagram account by tomorrow morning. You can go to the Instagram account Tarot Pal Tarot Talks and save that snip so that you can keep referring to it. If in case you don't want to replay the video, feel free to replay the video as well if that's what you like. So let's begin. First of all, honey, I know time's been difficult for you. Okay, I know you feel left out in the cold, you feel alone, you feel lonely. There's an energy here of nothing's ever working out for me and feeling unloved. Okay, so first of all, you're loved and I love you. First of all, I love you for showing up here and watching this read. So jokes apart, I love you. Okay, and you're loved. I want you to say that to yourself. I am loved. The affirmation for this week that you have to keep on repeating to yourself to feel the self-love. Okay, this is a week where I want you to love yourself more than anything or anyone else. You're loved. And I'm not just saying that to make you feel great. All of us are loved. I'm going to jump to this card first. You are made of star stuff. Carl Sagan said, all of us are made of star stuff. Okay, that's a scientific plus a spiritual rant. I'm not going to get into that. But you are the star. Okay, all of us are stars. So you're loved. You're special. And I want you to believe it. I really want you to believe it, because if you don't believe it, you're not going to get out of this energy. Okay, I know it's difficult. I'm not trying to make it sound as if you're being in a pity party for no reason. I can understand it's really hard for you. You really are facing the music right now, but you can get out of it if you first of all start with you're loved, you're enough. Okay, that's another thing I want you to focus on. You are enough. If you feel left out, if you feel abandoned, if you had abandonment issues, this is where the card gets into shadow work. Okay, this week work on your shadow work. If you don't know what that is, please Google. I'll eventually get to it, making a video on it as well, but for now go Google, understand what shadow work is. And the shadow work that you desperately need right now is to focus on your abandonment issues. Okay, in case you have a question in mind, a person in mind, should I do this, should I not? That toxic ex is back. Should I give him a chance? Need I say it? Need I say it? No. No. Honestly, if you're really sure and you're pulled towards, should I give this person one more chance? I think it's working out. No, it's not. You're feeling like this. You're feeling like crap with this person. Okay? That's it. Stop. If you can't get out of it right away, and I understand different kinds of people are watching it. If you're married, you have kids with it, at least take a pause. just create some distance, create some protection, because you're feeling powerless and that's not a great place to be. Okay, if you're in a relationship, I also want you to create a protection circle, do some protection rituals. On my Instagram account, I've posted already a lot of rituals around protection magic. This week, honestly, is very heavy around evil eye and negative energy. So I strongly recommend you to take some salt baths, do some, put up a horseshoe outside your home, protect your house, protect your relationship. Other people are not sending very, loving energies towards it. So all the more important that if you are in a relationship or you're single, please do some protection rituals this week. Your love needs it. Your love, as in your heart, needs it. Okay. So the first message is, don't go back to that toxic ex. Stop giving your power away and believe that you're loved. Okay. Work on your abandonment issues. Your shadow work, homework for this week has to be working on your abandonment issues, because only once you've worked on that, you'll actually feel very optimistic. Okay. Immediate next reaction that comes after that shadow work is you feel optimistic, you feel free. The fool is free. He's liberated. He's not an actual fool. Okay. It does look like as if he's going to jump off the cliff and he's going to die, but you don't know what's right down here, right? You can't see this part of the card. So he's ready for the unknown. He's ready for, and I'm just saying he, it's a she in the picture, but he and she gender doesn't matter here. Be ready for that next big adventure. Okay, great things can start. Okay, there is so much love ahead for you if you can just get out of this energy, of this I am not good enough energy, to liberation. If you're in a relationship, the more you love yourself, the more your relationship get a fresh life. Okay, the more vibrant and radiant you become. Right? Think about it. Do you like your partner in that grumpy, I need you zone and I can't do this without you zone? Or do you like your partner to feel like, hey baby, I can't stop. It's a, channel. I don't want to get censored with YouTube, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. So be in that energy of optimism, of adventure, of moving ahead, letting go of the people who have been holding you back. And I dropped the card. Hold on. Yeah. Let go of anybody who's holding you back. Let go of the naysayers. Let go of people who make you feel like shit. Okay? Because you're amazing. You are amazing. You just have a lot of energy vampires who are sucking your energy out. Okay? So let that toxic person go. You'll feel better. You'll feel better. Just trust me, you'll feel better. You'll cry. Cry it out, but you'll feel better. Okay? Sometimes it's also not other people but ourselves. That is also a very important message I want you to talk about. Because in the shadow work, it also talks about your abandonment issues. If you do have them, there is also something that you can do some homework on to understand what your attachment style is. Okay, there are some, there's fearful attachment style, fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant, anxious attachment style. If you are one of those people who get anxious when your partner is away, when they're living their own life and they're adventurous and they're having fun, then honey, you can move from this relationship to the next, but the problem will still remain, right? Because you can't cage people in. That's not love. Can you come to your power? Do you remember that you're the Queen of Pentacles? Can you work on yourself? Can you focus on your own work? Abundance can definitely come in. In case some of you are facing, love life issues because of money, because there is no honey without money. Yeah, I say such funny things, right? Anyway, there is no honey without money. That's going to go away if you just get out of this lack mindset, okay? Be supportive, right? But don't be an overgiver. If you're having money issues and you have this person who just keeps asking you for more and more money, a narcissistic gold digger, do I even need to articulate why you need to get out of it? Because that's not love, honey. That is not love. A lot of us are living very distorted versions of attachments, thinking, oh, it's he's in need of support and love means, sure, all of us should, but if it's a pattern, if you're not respected for it, then why are you there? Because you need shadow work, right? Because there is something inside you which still holds you into these toxic relationships, and you need to work on that. If you're single and you feel lonely and left out, right, of course, I still recommend you do those rituals of the protection magic spells that I've already, rituals that I've already put on Instagram. Go figure them out. You'll find a lot of content on the Instagram account. And And only when you're out of this energy of being left out, of, nobody loved me, he left me for blah blah blah, or she doesn't care, and she doesn't like me because I'm poor. This is a very usual thing that I've heard from guys, okay? Or she didn't like me because I didn't have money. I don't know who's talking who. I mean, I don't even know if that's really the reason why she didn't like you. That's an assumption. And you're being a sexist. And thirdly, do you think that about yourself? The first question that comes into my mind when men talk like that is, I'm pretty sure that's how you think about yourself, don't you? That you don't have enough, that you're not enough, that people have to love you for the money that you bring, that the value that you create, right? That's where self-esteem becomes a problem in relationships. So I can see this relationships is going through troubles, but most of it perhaps is internal. But in case there is a narcissist, toxic personality in your life, all of us have that inner voice within us. Okay, voice. Now to this. Come out of that cave. Express what you need. Okay, ask for what you need. Talk to yourself. Talk to the spirit. If you feel that I don't have the courage, I don't think I can do this, I don't know how to go about it, write a letter to spirit. Guys, I can't tell you. I mean, I faced something really horrible yesterday. A very traumatic incident happened. And it was so healing to just write it out. Okay? So sometimes you just really need to talk to yourself by writing it all out. So write it out. Okay? And healing is coming. I know you can't see it right now, but healing is coming. Your destiny is going to unfold. And you're the star of the show, baby. You're the star of the show. No matter whether you're in a relationship or in a complicated situation or you're single, I want you to this week keep saying to yourself, I am enough, I am loved, I am the star of my own life. Because that's how you'll get better relationships. That's how you get more love. Believe me, I mean, only when you are in that energy of being the star, people look at you like you're the star. Personal experience talking here, okay? Okay, I don't have much gyan to give you, except, you know what, if you want to sing, that's another very, very theoretical thing. You might also want to reach out to some old friends, and that will also help you feel better. Maybe you and your partner need some time off from each other and just spend some time with your own circle, your own, inner circle of friends, family. Okay, now I want you to think of a personal situation, your particular situation, and I'm going to draw a postcard for you from the spirit, which will have a message for you. So either it falls quickly or okay, got it. Ooh, so much in sync again. Check in occasionally with yourself about your motives behind actions you plan on taking, especially when you have an end game in mind. Is there an agenda running? Are your insecurities, are your abandonment issues the reason why you're clinging on to this relationship, why you're trying to manipulate the outcome of this relationship? Okay? Is the source of your motivation desire or entitlement? Maybe you've drawn to a certain path because you think it will bring you a feeling related to the outcome you seek, like safety or wholeness. This woman is hoping she's going to get shelter here, right? Know that you will see a reflection in the outer world of the motive that drives you forward. Do you need a motive? Can you simply be pulled in the direction your soul calls you? Can you just go with the flow and express what you feel without having the fears of outcome, right? What is going to happen if this? Just see what happens. Just say it. Just do it. Okay? Towards joy, discovery, growth or adventure. Participating in something compelling and meaningful without trying to define it. If you can step forward. I'm going to talk about the star card here for a minute. This is life purpose. Okay, I'm doing this tarot because I really enjoy tarot. I don't know how many people are going to watch it, right? I don't know if anybody is ever going to watch it. But I spend so much time doing tarot. It brings me so much joy. It has helped me so much. Why not just do it anyway for other people, right? And other people are getting better help from me. I mean, I've done it for my friends. It has worked out for them. So can you just do something without thinking what is going to pan out of it? Because it just makes me have so much fun, so much joy, so much. It just feels so great that I would do this anyway, right? If you step forward, surrender to what spirit has in store for you. This card again talks about surrendering. If you can step forward, surrender to whatever spirit has in store for you, you will be amazed at how things turn out. check your motives, then hand them over to Spirit. Everybody here wants the best for you. Life loves you more than you know. Again, a lot of the struggle exists only in your mind, guys. Okay? It's not as bad as you're thinking it is. If you can just take your power back, it's not as bad. You guys might have also been drawn to pile 2, by the way, okay? There might be some messages for you in pile 2. You might want to check that out as well. Thank you so much for deciding to spend your time here. If this did resonate or help you in any manner, please do hit like, share and subscribe. Please hit that notification icon. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much again for spending this time and supporting me throughout. Wish you an amazing week. Mwah. Bye.